From Anshe Sfar Beth El Emeth Congregation, it's time to take 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Parshat Zachor. Parshat Zachor is the Shabbat before Purim. And on this Shabbat, we think about our relationship with Amalek. If you go back to the Torah reading on Purim, which we'll read the day later, and we look at the end of Parshat Beshalach, the first battle against Amalek, something very, very peculiar takes place there. Moshe sees that they've been attacked by Amalek, and he says to Yoshua, B'char lanu anashim, choose for us some good men. V'tzei hilachem b'Amalek, and go out and fight Amalek. Machar anochi nitzav rosh hagivah. Tomorrow, I will stand on the head of the hill, and the hand and the staff of God will be in my hand. What's strange is that the rabbis say that there's one word in this pasuk that it's not clear where it belongs. Is he saying that Yoshua, we're being attacked today, go out and fight Amalek tomorrow? Or is he saying, go out and fight Amalek? That's now. And tomorrow, I will be on the mountain with a staff in my hand. Either way, very peculiar. If Amalek is attacking now, then Yoshua needs to go out now. If Amalek is attacking now, then Moshe needs to be up on the mountain now. Why does Moshe suggest that the way to fight Amalek is to fight them machar, tomorrow? If we then turn to Amalek's descendants, to Haman Ha'agagi, Haman, whose great-grandfather is Agag, who was the one who was spared by Shaul the king. We see also there's something strange regarding tomorrow. When Haman feels that, I'm so successful, but there's only one problem. The problem is that crazy Mordechai, he just won't bow down to me. So the advisors, Zeresh, Ishtov, Chol Avav, Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends and officers, they advise him, look, why don't you make a tree, a piece of wood that's 50 amot, about 75, 100 feet in the air, and then in the morning, babokir, in the morning, tomorrow, you'll go and tell the king, and they'll hang Mordechai on that tree. But no, Haman doesn't listen to his advisors and to his wife. Balaylahu, that night, in the middle of the night, Achashverosh could not rest. What happened? What did he forget? Was there someone he forgot to thank? Was he ungrateful for something? And he was reminded that Mordechai had saved his life. Just that moment, Haman comes in. Why did Haman come in the middle of the night? His advisors told him to go to the king in the morning. Is it wise to barge in on the king in the middle of the night? Doesn't that seem strange? Doesn't it even seem suspicious? As a matter of fact, Achashverosh says, Mi b'chatzer, perhaps very urgently exclaiming, who is that in the courtyard? Who dares to come in the courtyard at that time? Haman risked his life. He did something very foolhardy, very impetuous, to come in the middle of the night to a king who we know from the words of Astaire, that if you come to the king unwanted, your head could be had. So why is it that Haman chooses to come that night when he's supposed to wait for tomorrow? Because when it comes to Amalek, they know no moral restraint. He wants it, and he wants it now. And therefore, he goes to Achashverosh foolishly in the middle of the night to ask for what he wants. And Astaire, how does she fight this Amalek character, this Haman? She says, "O king, here I am." And he says, "What would you like, Esther?" And up to half the kingdom. She says, "Well, come to my party." And they get to the party, and she says, "What would you like, Esther?" Up to half the kingdom, ad chatzia malchut. And she says, "Yavo hamelach v'Haman." Let Haman and the king come to the mishteh which she's going to make, to the banquet she's going to make tomorrow. Why? Why delay? She had the perfect opportunity. The king is at a banquet and drinking with her. And he says, "What do you want? Up to half the kingdom." Why doesn't she turn to him at that point and point the finger to Haman? But no, she waits for the banquet tomorrow. And what a difference a day made. Because it was in that day that Haman decided to go to the king. And Ahasuerus, the king, decided to make Haman give a parade for Mordechai. It was that night that Haman made that tree for Mordechai, which would be his ultimate undoing. In fact, waiting that day was very key. You want to fight Amalek? You want to fight these people who are impetuous, who just can't wait to kill those Jews. And they want to do it now and they can't wait till tomorrow. The way to do it is by planning. Moshe says, Machar, Anochi nitzav rosh hagiva, I'll fight them tomorrow. You fight them tomorrow. And Astaire says, come to the party tomorrow. And that's how we fight the forces of Amalek, the forces of the evil inclination. It says, do it now. Just do it. It doesn't matter. There's no moral restraint. Don't think about it. Just do it now. And the way to fight that is by being very cunning and calculating as Astaire was. And in that way, she was able to defeat this terrible enemy. And this may explain why in Purim we have today and tomorrow. We have Purim and Shushan Purim. We have the day on which we fought Amalek and the day afterwards on which we rested. Purim is not the day that Haman chose to kill the Jews. It's tomorrow, the day after. Because Purim is all about fighting Amalek. And fighting Amalek is all about waiting for tomorrow. The nature of a lack of morality is a lack of self-restraint. The nature of being a moral individual is to wait for tomorrow. Wait for the wedding. Wait for the appropriate time for the right thing. The nature of Amalek is to say, no, it doesn't matter. Just do it now. Just do it. In fact, the fight against Amalek is mentioned as a fight against Amalek midor dor. You need tenacity. You need to stick-to-itiveness to fight Amalek. You can't just fight him today and then forget about the battle tomorrow. Oh yeah, we're going to be armed. We're going to be armed for today. And we're armed as well for tomorrow. And that's why it says, after the time is just right, after you have all the judges and you have the first king, finally when you have a king like David, where all the enemies are set aside, then and only then when you're ready, at that right moment, that'll be the time to fight against Amalek. It'll be midor dor. You have to fight it today. You have to fight the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, and Amalek tomorrow as well. And if you do that, we can be victorious against Amalek. So why did Moshe say, let's fight them tomorrow? Because that's how you fight Amalek. Why did Haman not listen to his wife and he said, let's go right now in the middle of the night to go to Ahasuerus? Because he was Amalek, he was impetuous. And why was it that she says, O king, tomorrow I'll do what you ask, not today? Because the way to fight Amalek is to think, to strategize, and to be prepared for tomorrow. Tomorrow could bring great things. We need to prepare for it today, to hold back to show some restraint today, so that tomorrow can enjoy the benefits of the restraint of today. Thank you for joining us for our discussion of Purim, Parashat Zachor, and the fight against Amalek. Please join us each week as we continue our discussions. And join us at ASBEE.net for further information about the Anshe Sfard Beth El Emet congregation here in Memphis, Tennessee. If you'd like to email me, I'm at rabbijmf@gmail.com. And I want to thank Jason Lefkowitz for making today's presentation possible. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.